Hello, how are y'all doing today? I am Morgan Tyner, and I will be doing my commentary speech on Evel Knievel. Evel Knievel was the biggest all-time stunt daredevil in American history. He was the craziest, bravest stuntman who accomplished many scary performances. Everybody was astounded by his performance he had achieved and not achieved and was still alive at the time. He he had achieved in many films and movies. He took on several obstacles, and he has a unique background of facts that you guys might be interested in. The first movie he was achieved in was the Via Knievel. Via Knievel was about a movie where this guy would go over to Mexico to perform. Well, he wasn't really supposed to be performing. The Mexican people were gonna kill him and then stuff his body with cocaine, which was a trick. So that movie was kind of horrifying. The next movie that he had was The Last of the Gladiators, which was about his background and what he did in the stunts, and he also had his friends and family be in it and speak of their opinions of his career and stuff like that. And the film that and the TV show that he was filmed in was Death Defiers. Death Defiers was a TV show not for children. It was banned because it just wasn't for children. It was not for the children at that age. So people would do like these most craziest stunts, and they would strap themselves to chairs and put dynamite around them and explode themselves. And children was not able to see that at that time. It was just not a good influence for them. And that was the last of his achievements. The obstacles that he achieved that I picked some of were the Caesar's Palace Fountain. Caesar's Palace Fountain, where he had jumped 151 feet in the air over these huge fountains, and he had accomplished that. And everybody was astonished by that obstacle. That was probably one of his most outstanding ones of all time. The second obstacle that he had achieved, well, tried to achieve, was the Snake River Canyon. He had used a Skycaster uh, motorcycle where before he could even jump over the canyon, the parachute deployed and the Skycaster went straight up in the air and it went straight down where the snakes and through the canyon was at. Everybody didn't believe he was going to survive that, but he did. Um, he wasn't able to be successful in that obstacle, as you can tell. The next obstacle he had performed was the Wembley Stadium jump, which is where he had jumped over 13 buses, or tried to at least. The ramp was too short, and he couldn't get enough speed to jump over the 13 buses, so he wasn't able to accomplish that performance as well. And lastly, the last performance he had performed was the Madison Square Garden, which is in New York City. He uh, he had jumped over 10 cars, and he did that without no problem. That was probably one of his good accomplishments that he accomplished. The maximum was number of cars that they could fit between the two ramps were 10, and he did that with no problem. And that's the last of his obstacles I was able to include in this. But if you want to read furthermore into some of his obstacles he had, you can go online and they'll give you a list of them. But the next interesting, unique background of facts he has is that he had broke 37 bones throughout his career. He is crazy because he survived everything and he lived through it all. But at the age of 69, he died from all these health issues from his bones and all the tear and stuff in his body that he had messed up. But another interesting fact was that he he was also in the Washington Smithsonian American's Legendary Daredevil. That's what they called him, and that's a big article newspaper uh, website if you want to go look at that as well. Another fact about him was that he started doing these motorcycle stunts at the age of 13, started in his teenage years. I mean, he was already getting the experience when he was in his teens. So we could see why he was as crazy as he was. And lastly, the another fact that might surprise y'all is that he was the eye of attention in the 1970s. He caught everybody's attention. Everybody was astonished by the way he did these stunts and such. So Evel Knievel was outstanding on his achievements, recognized for all his obstacles and different unfamiliar background. I would recommend people that are into these daredevil stunts and want to look furthermore into this guy. You can go online and they have many videos of him performing many stunts and stuff. So, and then more obstacles of what you can see of what other stuff he had performed as well. Um, this man lived his life to the fullest. He didn't have any regrets or second thoughts about things. He lived like it was his last, and that's what inspired everybody that was in love with this man during the 1970s because he just didn't care and he was going to do his thing and make everybody happy. All right, well, thank you guys for listening, and I will see you guys again. Thanks.